Hey guys, Gavin Syme here. I think it's live. It's live. We're live. It's Gavin Syme here. And I am somewhere in Mako surrounded by Americans. That's not a bad thing, but we're in this spot. We're in this place down in central Querétaro. We're just kind of roaming around and we're in this market kind of district. I don't know what district of town this is. To be honest, I'm completely lost. I have no idea. Hey, Team Explorers. Hey, everybody, pop in there and spread the word. Yeah, so I really don't know where in the city we are. Of course, we can use a map and get out, right? But hey, everybody, all you guys, Paul, CRM, 71, everybody, good to see you guys. So this place is so alive right now, and I just had to go live. I know I haven't been doing as many live streams lately because I've showed you guys a lot of the basic cultural aspects on here of Mako. But the light is beautiful today. It's the energy down here. It's Monday. Mondays tend to be market day, and I just have to walk around. I mean, there's so much happening. There's a little casino, and so I'm driving along down here. And I'm looking around, and there's just like streets that have kind of been taken over by markets and all kinds of stuff. There's some balls, all kinds of good stuff being sold there. I mean, this place is hopping right now. It's pretty wild. Look at this. Try doing this in the U.S., guys. Sandra went to a store somewhere here. I guess I'm just going to walk.
In 600 meters.
I don't know why. Like, it's actually trying to give me driving directions to somewhere, but I don't know how to turn that off while I'm streaming. So I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but just trying to live free down here and just exploring. I love it when, one thing, I just don't see this much in the States. As a photographer, I'm out here doing street photography today. Everything is so restricted and so illegal in the States that you don't have like that cultural aliveness. Look at this, here's a hot girl walking along. She looks like a gringa. Let's see what she's doing. I like her from the back. Maybe I'll take her out. Take her home with me tonight. Hola, gringa. ¿Qué tal? ¿Quieres sexo? Okay. Are we walking, or are you going to look for potty, or what?
I'm going to look for that. Something about this direction.
Okay. Guys, look at this place. This place is on fire right now. That's what's up. Que pasa to all of you guys. And I'm just walking around, and there's trucks, and there's people selling and buying, and there's markets, and there's all kinds of cool stuff going on. It's hard to describe when you're not in these places, but I'm trying to convey that to you a little bit. What you're seeing here is not allowed in the USA. What you're seeing here is a level of independence and freedom, libertad, that you can't have. There's people selling and doing their thing and begging on street corners and selling on street corners and driving cars that would be completely illegal with stuff in the US and parking them on street corners to steal the stuff off of them. It's quite a remarkable cultural experience, and this is something we get all the time in Mako. But sometimes there's these moments like this. There's these days like this where there's just an energy. Thanks, guys. There's just an energy, and things are just hopping. In a lot of cities, you'll find a very busy Monday market day. But this market, and I'm going to mark it because on a map before I go, because I really have no idea where I am. And I want to mark it so I can come back, because this is a market. You can tell that it's market day here, but it's not really a designated market so much. There's just things happening everywhere. There's people selling everywhere. There's people walking around and seeing what there is to see. This is Mako. Buenas tardes. I mean, I could just walk and walk and walk, and there's beautiful people doing ordinary, everyday things and living like ordinary people. And I think for somebody like me who escaped the USA, who escaped...
Head northwest on Kaya.
For those of us that are completely used to being controlled and regulated in every possible way, and if we don't obey, some psychotic police officer will come and harass us. Some people will look around and they'll see this. And I remember when I first came here, I would look around and I would see the walls and the buildings, and I'd see buildings that were a little rough, maybe a little broken down, and I would think, well, is something wrong here, right? Is there maybe it's just that they're so poor they can't fix anything up. And They have these old stone buildings that are 200 years old, and they're just working out of those buildings, and they haven't even been painted in 30 years. And you know what? It's simply that they don't have to. It's that they're not getting cited or regulated. Thanks, Chronicas. It's that they're not getting controlled and regulated in every level to where they can't even open a business unless
Head west on Juan.
fresh color. I really wish. Hang on, let me see if I can turn off this navigation. Just a second. I hope I don't lose you guys. Look at this background behind me. Hola, amigos. Viva Mexico. Back. Okay, I think I turned off the. The navigation. Okay, let's walk down the other way toward this market. And so, as the USA is consumed with hate and division and NWO fascism, worrying about immigrants traveling across the country saying, oh no, 4,000 people is an invasion, I got news for the loyalists out there to the government. Guys, in the early 1900s, just in New York alone, there would be 10,000 people a day sometimes that would immigrate. Hola, buenas tardes. Okay, so people have no concept of the word invasion. They don't know what private property. They don't know what the right to travel is. They don't know what human rights are anymore because we've lived under fascism for so long that it's like there's no longer a concept. All there is a pretense that we're better and that no one else should take part in that and that no one has a right to travel or work or live, despite the fact that human rights, the Constitution, our founding fathers, everything forbids this treatment. God's law, natural law, everything forbids the abuse of our fellow man, and yet we call that freedom. Did you find a body? Let's see what's down here. The market's going on down here, and what's really cool is here. You can walk in front so I can enjoy the view. What's really cool is when you see just streets and people are doing things and they're chilling, they're hanging out, they're flirting, they're making out, whatever it is that they do, and people are just doing their thing and they're not worrying all the time about whether they're going to get in trouble, whether it's legal, because as long as you're not hurting someone else, is there dumb rules, is there dumb laws, is there government bureaucracy trying to extort people? Sure, but it's just different because here people don't worship the government, so they're readily willing to obey them. Looks like this market's kind of closing up for the day. A couple minutes ago when we walked through, it was actually pretty hopping, so things can change very fast here. And it looks like this one is closing down for the day. But I just had to show you guys this really neat area because there's so much happening down here on the streets. Maybe somebody who's watching that's familiar with Querétaro can tell me what district I'm in. I don't know, but it's hopping, it's booming. There's lots to see. Let's go this way, baby. We'll go out the main, and it's really cool. We bought some fruit, some mandarinas, and there's some maracujas. Maracujas there are good. Picked up a couple of those a few minutes ago, and it looks like people are kind of packing up, loading stuff in their cars and getting ready to head out for the day. It's, I don't know, probably almost 4 here. Let's walk up here. Here's a whole nother market street. There's a delivery man on his motorcycle. Those are very common here. All this stuff. This is the street that I first saw. We were driving by in the car, and I'm like, wow. And so as the New Berlin Wall is built to lock you in, these people are scoffing at the people that think walls are freedom, because they actually still have a little freedom down here. These people are scoffing at the idea that you just obey government and police and that no one better dare resist them. I don't know if you guys saw this. They'll be turning this into propaganda in the US, but the word is from the news down here that this immigrant caravan, they came to a place, and of course, understand that the USA is feeding government, feeding money, that is, hola, is feeding money to the Mexican government to try and abuse these immigrants because they want to legitimize the propaganda that they're spreading up there. And so do the patriots and the loyalists and all this. So, dice, hola mi compadres en YouTube. It's okay, mi español es pobre, pero learning. Buenas tardes. So, as they create this propaganda and as the U.S. government is sending money down to Mexico, because it's not normal for Mexican officials to try and impede the immigrants like they're doing. The borders are more or less open. Is there still dumb immigration rules and things, bureaucracy and things like that? Is there still deportation? Yes, because the U.S. government's been sponsoring that in the past decade to try and build that. But this idea that roadblocks are built to stop immigrant caravans hasn't existed until just recently. So get this immigrant caravan is coming up the road, I believe it was yesterday, all right? They're by this city, and they're not actually trying to stop them from entering. They're just trying to say, oh, we have to document all of you, which of course is gonna be a bureaucracy and all this kind of stuff. So even in their abuse, they treat the immigrant far better than we do in the USA. This immigrant caravan comes up the road. What?
I'm just stuck in the chair.
This immigrant caravan comes up the road, and the federal government in Mexico sets up a roadblock, all right, because the USA wants to stop and have them document everybody. The people, the word on the street is that about 100 men, a militia formed in the local city, is really what it was, about 100 guys, not armed, not violent, nothing like that. They come out and they tell the police, you have no right to be doing this. You have no right to stop these people. You have no right to question them. Get out of here, okay? They're telling the federal police this, and the police say, no, we have to. We're gonna let them pass. We just want to give them the opportunity. You know, they can apply for refugee status here. We're just giving them the opportunity. And the locals, about 100 men that showed up here on the site, they said to the Mexican federal authorities, you don't go to people in the road and make them apply for refugee status in the heat and in the sun. Now get out or we'll move you out. And they threw the police out of their own roadblock so that the people could pass. This isn't anarchy, guys. This is people defending freedom. It's people defending the right to travel. It's people defending human rights down here in America. As the USA side of America tries to set a precedent that destruction of freedom, destruction of the Constitution, and totalitarian fascism is freedom, and as the serfs and slaves fall for it, fall for the lie that it's an invasion. You know what the most stupidest arguments I've heard is people saying, you wouldn't open your door to everybody coming in, you lock your door at night so we can lock our country. It just shows how truly uneducated and ignorant we've become as a society. If you think that locking your door at night because it's your private property and your family's sleeping there is the same as building a wall around your country, you're mentally ill. You have a problem. You've been brainwashed for so long that you really think fascism is freedom, right? People are saying, well, we can lock the country because we can also lock our doors. Well, you also lock your doors against the citizens and residents of your country, okay? That's your private property. Your country is not. So I saw a really good saying. I want to kind of close with this as we walk and head back here. But I saw a really good saying this week that somebody had posted, and it said there is an immigrant, a billionaire, and a poor person, and they're sitting around a table, and there's 1,000 cookies on the table. The billionaire takes 999 cookies, and then he looks to the poor person and he says, you better watch out because that immigrant's going to steal your cookie. That's the level of stupidity, ignorance, fascism, and hate that those that are saying, stop the immigrant, build the wall. We have a right to impede the travel of a free, living person. We have a right to decide whether they can work or live or eat or feed their family. If you believe that way, you're sick in the head, guys. You're sick in the head if you think that way. We need to love all our neighbors. We need to love freedom. So I'm down here in the side of America that actually has a little freedom left. And what inspires me is that down here, people are actually standing up when people are getting abused. Not as much as they should. There's not as much freedom as they should. The government gets away with too much. But when you have 100 men marching out of a town to go to a roadblock of federal police and say, how dare you, get out or we'll throw you out, and let these people pass and go on their way, that's what patriotism looks like. That's what loving freedom looks like. Anybody telling you build a wall, anybody telling you the immigrants have no right to come here, anybody telling you it's okay to imprison and deport and steal these people and traffic them, they're not patriots. They don't love freedom. They don't love the word of God. They don't love justice. They love their socialist programs and their arrogance and their pride and thinking they're better, and they want everybody else out of their country so they can have their free stuff. but my free stuff. That has become the mantra of the fake patriot. I see a lot of them in the chat room. I see a lot of people, and I know a lot of people have been fake-triotized because they're ignorant. But I'm telling you this out of love. It's time to get your head out of the sand. It's time to stop thinking that Donald Trump is a defender of freedom when he's waging war on the Constitution. It's time to stop thinking that abusing immigrants and poor people because they're not like you, because they're a different color, or because, for heaven forbid, they might take one of your cookies that you allowed the government to steal from you, that therefore they should be abused. The USA is becoming Venezuela all over again because we are a socialist, fascist state, but it's not. It's not the immigrants' fault. It's your fault. It's all of our fault that are from there. So to all the socialists, all worried about your free stuff, you need to learn what freedom is. You need to learn what it means to love your neighbor. You need to learn what it means to have a concept of justice. Because I don't care about your free stuff, and neither does anyone else that loves freedom. Hello to my YouTube friends.
How you doing? My name is
Where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico? Cool. This is
Cuernavaca, Mexico.
what part of town are we in? This is a
Querétaro, Mexico.
right. I know we're in Querétaro, but what district is this? It's a very interesting part of town.
District. I mean, I don't know much about Querétaro because I'm working right now in
Right.
a very good, smooth, and very professional
Uh-huh.
work, which is about all. Could you film it? This?
Oh, you're doing hair?
No. All this. With my. But I'm noble.
What's that?
I'm noble.
You noble?
What do you think right now?
Oh, I'm YouTubing. Oh, you don't want to be on film.
No. I do.
Okay, it's okay. So what? You're selling something, or you're doing work? What are you working on? What kind of work are you doing?
I don't know. You fix it.
I fix it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have scientific things for those Libyans because you know something about balancing of evil, and sometimes I cannot be able to talk. I'm very seriously. So if I nervous, it's not because sometimes you have to do something like this.
Uh-huh.
And I can do it. But see, can you imagine someone even mention Romans?
Right.
They do drugs, right?
Right.
Use mud and things like that. But you have to know it, how you use it.
Right.
Those kind of drugs. So those kind of drugs are very dangerous.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're not very good for you.
No. But if you take it alone,
Yeah.
how come you can control it? Even if I see, for example,
Yeah.
but I have control it.
Right. Well, I like my head to work all the time.
But if I want to have control,
Yeah.
do you feel me?
Yeah, we're filming.
I gotta make sure.
Oh yeah, we're filming.
Could you want to send it to YouTube?
Oh, it's on YouTube right now. Yeah.
Let me see myself.
There you are. You look
hold on,
good.
hold on.
You look good.
No, don't move the camera.
Okay, don't
please.
move the
Very
camera.
important. Very important. Yeah. It looks, no, please, bro. Please. No, please. Can I hold the knife?
No. Here. Get yourself some food in the room.
But it's not.
It's good. It's good. Right here.
No.
You don't want it?
No. Hold on. Now.
I really gotta go, man.
No. If you get in trouble,
Uh-huh. And that was a little weird. He kept waving this sewing needle around. But you don't need to live in fear of people. Just talk to people. Do the best you can. Sometimes you just got to walk away. But you just be careful. This is not an unsafe area. There's people. There's kids everywhere here. Mexico, sure, you can find bad places just like anywhere else. But there's people with struggles no matter where you go. And because, just to finish our topic, I'm going to cut a lot of that out later on. But
help you out.
just... gracias. He's trying to help me back out here. So here, you hold it. You hold this. We give him a couple pesos. Trying to get me out. Just a second, guys. Okay?
This is wait.
Gracias. Gracias, señor. Buenas tardes. So, you know what? Don't let the fear mongering. I think even though this kind of totally interrupted our conversation, I think it's on point because we treat each other with respect. We don't think the worst of each other. We don't fear monger. And you can be careful, you can be cautious, but we don't have a right to abuse people. We don't have the right to stop their travel. We have the right to love our neighbor as ourselves. And if we did that, we wouldn't have a USA filled with fascism and ruled by tyrants like Donald Trump and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and all these people destroying the Constitution, locking away our political prisoners like Jeff Winehouse and like Schaefer Cox, and well, the list goes on and on and on. I can't tell if I'm on a one-way street here or not. But you know what? This was a really colorful town. I told you when I started this video, this is a colorful town. And you know what, Stephen, I think you're onto something there, that we need to treat everybody like a brother. Obviously that guy had some issues. I don't know what he's going through, and I'm not going to give him $500, but I'll certainly give him a couple hundred pesos to go get a meal in a room and get cleaned up. And will that help him? I don't know. I can't fix all the world's problems, but if we were all loving our neighbor a little bit, we would have freedom. And I know it when people are saying build walls, lock people out, deport people, lock them in for-profit prisons, we're better, we're greater, America first. By the way, I'm in America right now too. When that's your mind, when that's your heart, you don't love your neighbor, you don't love Jesus, and you don't love freedom. It's time to tear down the walls that surround humanity and stand up and show the love of Christ. And maybe you don't believe in Jesus like I do, but my job is to love my neighbor. That's the gospel. That's how I show the gospel of Christ. First and foremost is by loving my neighbors myself. How do I know that? Because that's what he said to do. Am I going to hit that car there?
No, you're clear. You didn't hit the car.
All right, guys, the streets are kind of narrow. I'm going to go. It was good talking to you. Thanks for hanging with me. I know this got a little different, and I'm going to clean up this. Don't let yourself become a slave in New Berlin. Keep standing up, keep loving your neighbor, keep speaking out, keep resisting the patriots and the fascists and the loyalists. Buy those people that want a wall a red coat. Somebody get those people a red coat and tell them to head on down to the loyalist camp, because we're loving freedom and loving our neighbor. And we'll see you guys soon. I'm going to do some editing on this video later so that you guys can share it and maybe just show a little of our interesting guy down there. And keep speaking out, keep resisting. All right, guys, pass.